This is 340 Paddler, and today I want to talk about the heat. In the MR340, we're always fighting the sun because every year we end up with a day where it's 100 degrees or more. In 2012, we had 3 of them back to back, and it was rough on a lot of people because it causes a condition called hyperthermia. And if you're someone from the Great North, this is something to take very, very seriously. Even if you're from, say, Georgia, Florida, Texas, or Missouri itself, a lot of times we spend a lot of time in air conditioning and we assume that we're acclimated, but we really aren't. So what do we have to deal with? How do we handle the issues of heat during the 340? Well, first of all, let's talk about some of the symptoms. For heat exhaustion, which is going to be much more common, and I'll admit I'm pretty sure I've gone through heat exhaustion in the boat, you get faint or dizzy, you have excessive sweating, cool, pale, clammy skin, nausea, etc. Generally, if you cool down, drink water, and sit in the shade maybe, you're going to be in good shape. You can get back in the race. The flip side of that, of course, is going to be heat stroke. This is where the body temperature rises over 103. Suddenly your skin is going to be oftentimes dry. You have a rapid, strong pulse, and you may lose consciousness. From a ground crew perspective, most of these are things that your paddler will tell you about, but if it's extremely hot, check the hydration pack, whatever they're using for hydration. Check how much they've been drinking and ask them about their pee. Have they been urinating? What color has it been? The darker the urine, the more dehydrated you are, the more at risk you are for heat exhaustion. And every year, I'm pretty sure we end up with ambulances dealing with these issues. So it's something to deal with. I also put up a video on using the Humble tube sock. This is very useful for heat exhaustion as well. It allows you to cool off in the boat. You can take the sock, dip it in water, or your hat, dip it in water. We're surrounded by it anyway. And throw it back on. It will cool you off very, very quickly. Now, there's a number of solutions. If it's heat exhaustion, you can try and drink. Try and get ahead of the hydration curve. You can also, if you're a ground crew and you're worried about your paddler, put together some cool compresses. These aren't ice packs. These are just cool water on, say, towels or washcloths, putting them in the neck, armpits, and groin. If it's heat stroke, if there's confusion or altered mental state, incredibly high body temperature, loss of consciousness, try to cool the person off, but call 911. Do not make the mistake of sending them back out or trying to deal with it entirely yourself. This can be a massive issue. So if you suspect heat stroke, call the ambulance, or at least get help at the ramp in case there's a nurse or someone standing around. So in terms of prevention, drink. You want to stay ahead on hydration at all times. For many of us, what that means in the boat is timing it out. Every 20 minutes, I need to drink so many sips of water. Every hour, I need to do this. Just trying to maintain that hydration throughout. You will also see a lot of paddlers, as I talked about with sunburn, almost covered head to toe. And the reason for this is it keeps the sun off your skin. It will keep you a little bit cooler. You'll often see us wearing light colors or white for just this reason. It tends to reflect more sunlight. It keeps you a little bit cooler. Also, don't be afraid to sit in the water at the boat ramp. That Missouri River water is going to be 80 to 85 degrees. Just sitting in it, soaking your groin in the Missouri River, however horrible that sounds, will cool you off and make you feel 1,000 times better. And paddlers, check the color of your urine. The darker it is, the more behind you are on hydration. And make sure you have something, maybe a lemonade or a Gatorade or something, that is a flavor that you know you can just slam down if you get behind on the curve. It doesn't have to be sugary, but for some people, that works. If this all works out, you'll do fine and travel down the river and become legend. Till next time, this is 340 Paddler, reminding you to keep your paddle in the water.